Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Thanks for joining us tonight on TCM. Our look at movies set in Buenos Aires continues with a thriller from RKO from 1945, Cornered. Dick Powell plays a Canadian veteran and former prisoner of war, relentlessly pursuing the Nazi collaborator who killed his French wife. His search takes him from France to Belgium to Switzerland and finally to Buenos Aires. The city has become a hotbed of ex-Nazis, so every piece of information Powell gets about the collaborator, he must greet with skepticism. Cornered marked the further evolution of Dick Powell from leading man in light musicals to a hard-boiled action hero. The movie that kicked off the Powell transformation was Murder, My Sweet, where Powell played Detective Philip Marlowe. Cornered has the same director, Edward Dmytryk, and the same producer, Adrian Scott. When Dmytryk arrived in Buenos Aires to scout locations, he learned that film stock was scarce. Most of it was under the control of the Argentinian First Lady, Eva Perón. She was using it to make her own films. Dmytryk managed to overcome that obstacle and subsequently turned Cornered into an even bigger hit than Murder, My Sweet, firmly establishing this new phase in Dick Powell's career. Cornered also marked the first credited role for Ellen Corby, who'd later play Grandma Walton on the 1970s TV series The Waltons. She'd had a number of uncredited roles throughout the 1940s, and she'd also been a longtime script girl before stepping in front of the camera. From RKO in 1945, also featuring Walter Slezak, Luther Adler, and Micheline Sherrill, Cornered. Cornered ended up playing a significant role in the history of American communists working in Hollywood. The original script was written by John Wexley. Now, Wexley was a communist. He'd also been a successful screenwriter. His credits included Angels with Dirty Faces. But his script for Cornered had too many speeches and not enough action. Director Edward Dmytryk and producer Adrian Scott had also been party members, but they knew well Wexley's script was unproducible. They called in another writer to cut back on the speeches and tighten the plot. After Cornered premiered, Dmytryk and Scott were criticized by other Communist Party members for changing Wexley's script. Dmytryk later said this led to his disillusionment with the Communist Party and his eventual cooperation with investigators with the House Un-American Activities Committee, which ruined lives and careers rather effortlessly with a mix of 1 part hearsay, 2 parts ignorance, and 12 parts fear. Despite being a successful producer, Adrian Scott, who refused to cooperate, never made another movie after Crossfire in 1947. Edward Dmytryk, who did cooperate and name names, worked until the 1970s. But the real bad guys, it's worth remembering, were the politicians who forced men and women to make these awful choices. Up next, TCM Underground, a classic independent film from director David Lynch.